Hello everyone, welcome back to a look back at JoshL2. We left off on level 121, Patterns. But before we play this level, there's something I want to show off to you guys. So, remember when I said that this level you had to reach the exit right here? Turns out there's actually a way to reach the quote-unquote unreachable exit I mentioned in this level that I never caught onto, and no one else did up until Jeffrey watching the video of this level. um, so, and the fact that the unreachable exit you can reach faster than this one, they both use the same bus, but you can reach both of them using a block, basically. This is the 271. I don't have any shame in showing this off, considering there's not really a scoreboard for this set anywhere, and it's not an official level, so I don't really see an issue with this. This is how you get the 271. This took a while to pull off. I actually had to plug in my old keyboard to get this. And I misstepped there, but I somehow still got 271. Yeah, that's how you get it. And you can use a block. You can use the same block to go up to the exit above, I believe. But you get 270 that way, according to Jeffrey. So, yeah, I just thought I'd show it off a little bit. I thought that was pretty cool. That's never been noticed throughout the set's entire existence. That no one's ever caught that. Not even myself. I always thought those blocks were pointless, but turns out they're not. It lets you bust the level early, which is pretty cool. I guess that means the level is more unique than I thought it was. Anyway, patterns. Let's play something not really new to me, but new to you viewers. After a few attempts, you'll get the patterns. So I want to say the patterns, and it's kind of weird how this works because it goes clockwise, and the pattern kind of shifts, and you don't really. It's kind of hard to tell how it works. I want to say it's the middle, the top, then the bottom, and then back to the middle again. And it kind of changes here because now you're going down, and you went through the middle, so you want to go this way, that way, and then through the middle. So now you went through the middle. I think you go. Okay, you go through the top. It kind of changes there, which I think is a little mean. But this level's not all that special. I mean, so it goes this way, that way, and then the middle again. And I think it's the same this way. Yeah, this way, and that way, and then through the middle. Okay, now we got this awkward central room, which you can die, I suppose. Overall, this is a pretty simple level. Nothing out of the ordinary here. Just the fact that it's potential guesswork. Dang. I'm not fully used to this keyboard yet. Which, if you haven't watched my Walls of CCL4 video, I mentioned that I purchased a brand new keyboard specifically for gaming, despite the fact I don't really do a whole lot of gaming on my PC. So yeah. I think this is basically meant to like show the elements that were used in the quote-unquote pattern sections. Oh, I have to go back down because I forgot to go up the teleport. And now to go back up. and then back down to exit. Overall, not a terrible hard level. It's just kind of there. Alright, Blue Zone is the next level. So this was a level I initially thought was a really good idea. It involves monster dodging and a bunch of other shenanigans in a blue wall level that would be hated on if there were one thing about this level that didn't exist. And that is, well, we're not there yet, but I don't know why, but I thought this was cool. Like, oh, your path is blocked. Oh wait, you can just go around through the blue walls. I mean, to be honest, I still find things like that pretty cool, but... And here's another one. It's basically a big blue wall level, but there's green locks everywhere, and you have to get the green. It's basically like Mazed In and something else combined. I don't remember what else, but yeah. Do not go down the cloning path until you have every chip. Most are behind green locks. So that was the intent of the level. However, there's actually a bust, and a pretty lengthy one. That takes some time, but I still believe is faster than the intended route this level had you go on. You can just clone this first block every time and just push them as you go and go down the cloning path yourself, the block path yourself. Yeah, this was actually a bust that Zane caught a long time ago, actually. I think he made a video of this, if I'm not mistaken. But this bust exists, which is probably one of the few busts in my levels that I'm actually okay with. Because this level is really not all that great. I think it'd be liked a whole lot less if this didn't exist. So yeah, it's pretty lengthy to do this, but it's worth it for an LP because I don't remember this level all that well. I could play it the intended way, but trust me, trust me when I say it's not the most interesting thing in the world. As much as I love blue wall levels, this is probably one, and even though it's my own level, it's one I don't really care for. And I didn't need the chip, but I got it anyway. Hopefully that glider doesn't get me. I say that as it almost gets me. Alright, so I only need 4 more blocks. I'm actually not sure if this is faster than the actual solution of the level. Any optimizer like Jeffrey, for example, because I know he watches these at a semi-reasonable pace. If he cares enough, he can tell me if the busted route is faster. Because I know in some cases busted routes aren't always faster. The one I know of is the replay, the first replay in CCLP3, how you can use blocks to nail across to get to the exit. Even though it's possible, it's not faster than the actual bold route, which is interesting. So I always find levels that have busted routes but aren't faster interesting. I don't know why that is. It's just one of those things, I guess. Anyway, Blue Zone's done. Time to revisit the prison, which is a complete reference to the prisoner from CC1, and same level spot as well, 123. So as a kid, the prisoner was one of those levels that I really liked the structure of. I don't know what it was. I think it was just the seemingly or at the time when I was younger, when I first played the CC1, I thought the layout of the level was completely random. And you had to dodge a bunch of teeth monsters to collect the 3 chips on the outskirts of the prison-ish type stuff. I don't know what it really was. But I always found it pretty cool. And I made a sequel to The Prisoner in JoshL1, or JoshL as it was called at the time. And then I made this level as a reference to it, because even today, I still like The Prisoner. But this isn't really the most original level out there. It's still fun to play, but it's also pretty easy. But yeah, that's the whole history behind this level. Nothing too special, but again, it's just one of those levels that kind of holds a spot in my memories. So, Evil Walkers. This is basically a big open area with walkers. Essentially jumping swarm, but without the swarm. This was another case where I had absolutely no level idea in my head, so I just threw in a bunch of random chips everywhere and some walkers, and started a chip on a gravel tile and just called it a day. There's not even a whole lot of walkers in this level, so why I called this level as such, I think is because at the time in the community, walkers, I think even today, they still are considered evil to some CC players, just because of their random nature, especially the optimizers. Hi JB with your block and roll 443 that he got, which is pretty awesome. I might not be an optimizer, but that's one hell of an achievement. Oh, nice. Just bounce off another walker, sure. So yeah, this level is not anything special. I almost stood there in the path of the walker, but thankfully I got out of the way in time. Oh, okay, it's weird. I remember when Trevor got to this level in his LP of the set, he beat this on his first try, but this is like my 5th try or something like that. So I'm getting pretty unlucky with the walkers, but they are bouncing off each other, which I guess is the evilness of this level. But I would think with the amount of chips I'm clearing out, I would think there'd be less collisions occurring, but I guess not. I mean, that's fine. I know there was that exit in the upper left, but still. Oh. Did I forget anything down here? No, I didn't. Yeah, there's none on the edge. Okay, except that one. There we go. Alright, Evil Walkers is done. Nothing at all special. You might want to look in the editor to solve this. Thumbs up. I will never understand 18 or 19-year-old me that designed this level. So this is a level. Breaking the walls. I have no idea what I was going for with this level. I actually don't even have the editor open at the moment. Let me go ahead and do that real quick. Let me pause this. I don't remember the pause function. I think it's backspace. Yeah, there we go. Let me get the editor open real quick. Okay, I got the editor opened. The quality of the video might change because I accidentally stopped the recording and redid it. Or not redid it, but I'm resuming I'm resuming the video but with a new recording session, so to say. So I'm going to have to put the two together now in Windows Movie Maker, unfortunately. Okay, so I have the editor opened, and let's see how these suckers are connected. So it seems like the whole left column of buttons is connected to the left side of the square up there, which makes some sense. The second one connects to the bottom from left to right, top to bottom. The third column right here connects to the rightmost column of blocks from top to bottom as well. And the last column of trap buttons here connects to the top row of blocks from left to right. And this row right here connects from top to bottom as well. Or the second row I meant, let me rephrase. This row connects to this row of blocks from top to bottom. This row, or this column of trap buttons, connects to this bottom row of blocks from left to right. The third column right here connects to the rightmost column of blocks from top to bottom. And the rightmost thing of trap buttons connects to the top row of blocks from left to right. So that's the way they are connected. And the only reason why I even stated in the hint to look through the editor is because at the time I designed this, I didn't know how to describe the way they are connected. Even though I could have just said the vertical blocks are connected from left top to bottom in the first and third columns of trap buttons are connected to the vertical blocks from top to bottom, and the second and fourth ones are connected to the horizontal blocks left to right. Even though in hindsight, that probably wouldn't fit in MSCC, which at the time when I designed this set, I designed for MSCC. Well, I used MSCC quite frequently at the time. Actually, that was the only thing I had. I think I had Tile World too, but I had a preference for MSCC. I still do, I just don't have access to it anymore, which is weird. I have DOSBox and Windows 3.1 connected to it. So, well, I don't think they're even connected, but I've been trying to install it on the DOSBox, and I haven't had any luck with doing so. I'm not the best in that sort of area when it comes to virtual PC, so I would appreciate someone's help with that if I can get any. So yeah, this whole level it's just block pushing. This is one of the block pushing levels of this decade. Unfortunately, the one after this is also really lengthy in block pushing. Yeah. So essentially, there's 12 bombs on each side of the level, and they both lead to one single chip. I mean, that might have been evident enough, but still pointing it out, just in case, because you never know when someone's gonna be like, "Oh, where's the chips at, you noob?" I know there's a guy that comments on JB's videos of like, play with the Chips Challenge graphics, you noob. I'm kind of surprised he hasn't been redirected to my channel because I'm playing with the quote unquote Chips Challenge graphics. But if someone that talks like that, I'd rather not have associated with my channel, honestly. Okay, so now we got the second and fourth columns. So they connect from left to right. Yeah, this isn't the most interesting level in the world, guys. I feel bad for having people endure this kind of thing. I mean, it's not that tedious, but I mean, I know I've said this a few times already, but this set was inspired by CCLP3 in a lot of different ways. I want to say this level was a CCLP3 inspired level because, you know, at the time I played CCLP3 and was designing or getting back into level designing since I had stopped in late 2009, early 2010. Oh, I just now realized I didn't grab like the first. Oh, I didn't grab the third and fourth blocks on that one. Oh well, I'll get the last one and go from there. Wait, I think you can technically just use the 2 blocks from here. Yeah, I can just use these 2. I'll just skip those 2. So I guess there's that I can do. But yeah, when I first played CCLP3, I was inspired by a lot of the levels that had like a bunch of trap connections and button connections. I think this was same game inspired, if I want to say. That might be incorrect, but it wouldn't surprise me in the slightest if it were. I like the random like additional path to the chips. Like, it's not necessary, but I like the fact that they're long paths. But anyway, that is breaking the walls. So let me go ahead and minimize the editor there just to get out of the background. Okay, up the river is the next level. This is a lengthy block pushing level. Don't worry, you'll get the flippers later on. Some of the chips you will have to avoid for the time being. Probably a unnecessary hint, but I didn't want someone to like go for the chips and screw themselves. So I just kind of made it as fair as possible in the regard of don't get the chips right now, you'll have to get them later. But what if I don't get flippers later? Well, you will. So this is a level that is kind of adventure themed, but is not ridiculously long, but it's lengthy. Like, it takes up most of the time limit. Well, not most. I know it takes up at least half. I know that much. So I got 5 blocks. I want to go this way with them. But this was one of the levels in JoshL2 when at the time I designed this, I was like super proud of. Mostly because of the construction, because again, at the time, I know I say that a lot, but it is true. No, the set was designed in a very, very different time era in the community. There weren't a whole lot of levels with this kind of theme where you have a river, you have to go work your way up. I mean, I guess there's Archie's upstream, but that also had some block pushing too, which wasn't that good, but it was different aside from the block pushing parts. But this level, you're block pushing, but to a ultimate goal, and that's to get the flippers. Kind of like what's that level called? In the Rocks. Okay, so you have this little interesting little block interaction in this section. I still think this part's pretty cool. But yeah, you're basically pushing blocks up this river just to reach flippers, so you can gather the remainder of the chips that you couldn't grab initially. Which to some might be the most boring thing ever, but a lot of people really like this level. I know this inspired Zane for some reason. I think this was meant to reference Wireframe from CCLP3. These thin walls right here. I do remember that, well, this part right here, I remember like, oh, you might be able to push the block to the left. Oh, nope, you can't. There's no room. Like, I remember I was like super I was super proud of that little twist, even though that's like nothing to be happy about nowadays. Okay, this one's a little unclear. You can kind of see where you have to go, but you don't know how to get up there. You can either go this way with 5 blocks or this way with 4, and what you want to figure out is you want to get up there with 4. I think that's all you get in this section anyway. In fire boots. I do distinctly remember though that this took a while to make the path of the blocks as clear as possible. Because a level like this resulting to guesswork, I knew that wouldn't be a fun experience, even though taking out the guesswork doesn't really make it any more fun because it's still long. I mean, to be completely fair, I'm still semi-happy with this construction. I see a ton of different ways I could make this better. But, I mean, that's honestly really subjective at this point in the community. So I just pretty much not design anything of this type of concept. I mean, maybe smaller scaled. I know Jeffrey made, I think, what was that level called? Like Downriver or something like that in Walls of CCLP4. And that was a pretty good idea. It had like a 1 tile long, or not 1 tile long, like a 1 tile wide water corridor. I say corridor, that's just how I was raised to pronounce that word. Just so we're clear on that. And this is honestly a pretty mean trick of mine. You have to push this there first and then take the pop-up wall. I realize that's pretty mean, so I apologize for that in advance. Okay, so now we have 8 blocks we have to push, and we have to go this way. So yeah, there's this level went through quite a bit of history with it. I remember when this level was being LP'd by Trevor, we were on a Skype call at the time, And this was one of those moments in the LP where we probably talked the most to each other. Yeah, because we were talking about like current LPs that went on at the time that was being LP'd. Moments my brother liked and said LPs of everything that we were talking about at the time, about all the raging moments, and one of Rock's LPs, and one, I think Trevor's CCLP3 LP, and my own LP of CCLP3, just a lot of the CCLP3 moments that we were just cracking up about. I wonder how Trevor would feel upon me telling him I'm working on a Walls of CCLP3 set. I mean, I have yet to mention anything of the nature to him, because he's not really that active in the community anymore. He's kind of grown away to pursue his careers and stuff, which is totally cool and all. I do know that he is going to be living like an hour away from me, which is like, that's really, really awesome. If I'm completely honest, that is really cool. Okay, so I want the toggle button pressed. Three random blocks. And then there's this behind the fire over here. And then there's one behind the toggle wall over here. Okay, that is the rest of the chips, so let's go to the exit and complete this long level. Block pushing in this decade complete. So yeah, Trevor's is gonna be living like relatively closer to me, so there's gonna be potential or more potential meetups with each other, and hopefully I can get him back into like CC stuff and everything, because I don't know, like I have to say, you know, I know I'm gonna be talking about it a lot when I complete this LP, but that LP of JoshL2 is pretty much what formed our friendship today. Because I was considered like a random stranger at the time when I contacted Trevor upon considering LPing JoshL2. And then by luck he managed to pick JoshL2 to LP, and it just seemed like faith. I believe in faith, like the power of faith and stuff. Like, I'm not one of those overly religious type people, but I do believe when it comes to having faith in someone and everything, or believing things happen for a reason, like, I do believe in stuff like that. Anyway, this level is titled Outer Limits. It's essentially a massive chip collecting level with this random these random shaped rooms with chips and blocks and such. You don't need the blocks for anything. They just have chips under them. And there's fireballs circling the area. Nothing too special going on here. Okay, so that's all of it. And there's the yellow key. Now we can go ahead and go out to the exit. I do know that this level's title is from a Super Paper Mario area from that game. Okay, I'm in a little bit of a cluster, but hopefully I don't oof. I don't think I will. Okay, I'm still in the cluster, and I kind of had to rely on boosting to survive, but yeah, this isn't ending. Alright, Outer Limits is complete. That was a level. I think for the sake of chip collections, I think that needed to exist because I didn't have a whole lot of massive chip collecting levels in this set. I mean, I had the upcoming attack and maybe a couple others, like Buried Alive, but that was a really stupid one. But I don't know. It's just one of those levels. I don't mind it so much. Alright, Eruption. I'm actually going to take this level on in the next video because this part of the set, I think from this level to 135? No, this level to 133. This next lineup of like the next 6 levels or so is like basically 120 to 133. This is a lineup of solely CCLP3 inspired levels, or not even CCLP3 levels, just inspired by CCLP3 in general. And when it comes to difficulty, that's what these next 6 levels are inspired by. Because there's a couple of them based on trap buttons. I know this one is. The next one I think is a campaign type level, or basically a level like intelligence and showing skill. There's another one coming up. Actually, there's actually quite a few, honestly. And then 130 is another trap button level. You'll see when we get there, but 133 is, I know for a fact, CCLP3 inspired. And 131 as well. So we have all that to look forward to. So I'm actually going to try to do the whole lineup in the next video. So until then, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and see you guys later.